All right, everyone, thanks for being here. You've all heard that saying, data is the new oil, right? But let's be real, for a long time, we've been treating it more like crude oil. Messy, hard to get to, and even harder to actually use. So today, we're going to kick off a huge shift in how we think about that. We're going to start treating data as a product. Let's dive into the life cycle that's going to turn all that raw data into something genuinely valuable.
I mean, this is the classic problem, isn't it? It's a paradox we see everywhere. We have more data than we know what to do with, yet somehow, we're still starving for those clear, actionable insights. Turning that mountain of information into smart, confident decisions, well, that's been the real challenge. And that's the exact problem this whole data as a product mindset is designed to solve.
For years, our go-to response to this data overload was, a bunch of ad hoc reports and one-off projects. And yeah, they might solve a specific problem for a day, but they almost never hit the long-term target. They're built for just one thing and they get outdated fast, which creates a system where, frankly, nobody really trusts the numbers they're looking at.
So what's the fix? Well, it's not a small one. It requires a really fundamental shift in our mindset. It's all about moving away from seeing data as just a byproduct, like the exhaust fumes from our business operations, and starting to see it as the product itself.
This quote it absolutely nails it. The second you start treating your data with the same care, the same intention, the same lifecycle management as you would any software product, that's when you start to unlock its massive, measurable business value. So here's the crucial point. This is way more than just a new workflow. It's about building a solid foundation. We're talking about a system of reliable, versioned, and discoverable data assets that our entire organization can trust to make its most critical decisions. It's all about that trust.
Okay, so I've been throwing this term around, data product. It gets used a lot, so let's get on the same page and break down exactly what we mean by that.
At its core, a data product is a curated data asset. And pay attention to those keywords. It's designed to be discoverable and reusable. But honestly, the most important part is that it's built to generate real, measurable business value. This isn't just a pile of data. It's data with a clear purpose and a promise of quality.
This slide shows a really important distinction. Look, most companies have countless data assets. You can think of those as disorganized warehouses full of raw materials. A data product, that's what happens when you turn that messy warehouse into a curated, easy-to-navigate store. It's an asset that's been refined with product principles like clear ownership, high quality, and a great user experience.
So a data product isn't just a single table or a file. You have to think of it as a complete, self-contained package. It includes not just the data, but also the code to process it, the metadata that explains what it is, and even the infrastructure needed to make it all run smoothly. And these are the hallmarks of any good data product. It has to solve a specific problem. Its value has to be something you can actually measure. It needs to be properly governed, and, this is a big one, it has to have a clear owner who is accountable for its quality and its success. So how do we actually create and manage these things? Well, it's not random. It follows a very clear, structured process. And that process is our roadmap, the Data Product Lifecycle. This diagram right here shows that entire journey from start to finish. A data product moves through these distinct phases, starting as an initial idea and going all the way to its eventual retirement. This whole process ensures that our products are built for the right reasons and are managed effectively their entire lives. Let's just quickly walk through this cycle. It all starts with ideation, and that means identifying a real business need, not just a cool technical idea. From there, it's design, where we create the blueprint. After that, it's build and deploy. That's the engineering work to bring it to life. Once it's live, users can consume the product, and finally, when it's no longer valuable, we formally retire it. Now, one of the most critical parts of this life cycle is metadata. I'm telling you, this is the secret sauce. It's not just boring technical documentation. It's the rich context that makes a product usable, like who owns it, what do the columns mean, how fresh is the data. This is what builds trust and turns a simple data set into a reliable product people actually want to use. And that last step, retirement, is actually a super important part of the product mindset. Intentionally sunsetting products that are no longer valuable is just as important as creating new ones. It prevents that digital clutter and those data swamps from building up, and it keeps our entire system focused on what truly matters. Of course, a process is nothing without the right people to make it happen. This whole model relies on clear roles and responsibilities to work. So let's look at the key roles that are going to power these data products. First up, the Data Product Manager. You can think of them, well, of me, as the bridge between the business goals and the technical teams. We're responsible for the what and the why, defining the product's vision and making absolutely sure it delivers real, measurable value.
And then we have our incredible data engineers. You all are the builders who make this stuff real. You construct the robust pipelines and the secure infrastructure that ensure our data is reliable and accessible. Your work on quality checks and monitoring is the backbone that makes a data product truly trustworthy.
So, we've got the mindset, the process, and the people. But how do we know if any of this is actually working? That brings us to maybe the most important part, proving the value by measuring our success.
At the end of the day, you can build the most elegant, technically perfect data product in the world. But as this quote says, if it goes unused, it yields zero return. Success isn't measured by what we build, it's measured by what's actually adopted and used to drive better decisions.
And that means our key metrics have to shift. We're going to measure success by adoption and reuse rates. Are people actively using these products? Are they finding new ways to use them? Other key indicators will be tracking improvements in time to insight and maintaining really high objective data quality scores.
Ultimately, this is the end game. It's about moving beyond the buzzword of being data-driven and actually enabling it at every level of the company. It's about building a real strategy where high-quality data products are central to how we operate and compete.
So the question for all of us in this room isn't just if our data is valuable, but whether it's truly ready to be treated as a first-class product. With the talent we have here, the raw data we have access to, and a clear roadmap like the one we just walked through, I think the answer for us is a resounding yes. This is our shift from just collecting data to truly unlocking its power. Let's get started.